Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, the day after Dutch Wonderland. Woohoo! It was a great day out there, guys, with the grandkids. Got a little stressed out toward the end. Had to think about, and actually didn't do it while I was there. That was the problem. I came home on the way home. I was thinking, man, why'd you get so stressed out, dude? You know, think about what you've been talking about, and preaching for the last 19, 18 days. We're on verse 18, or chapter 18 today. Proverbs chapter 18, Motocross for Christ. Hey, yeah, Dutch Wonderland had a great time. We were fortunate we rented a cabana there. If you ever go there for $80 or $70, something like that, you can rent a little cabana down in Duke's Lagoon. Man, you got shade, you got chairs and the table, and you can hang out, and it's it's $50 a pop to get in there. To spend another 80 or 70 for to have a nice gazebo there, make sure you do it. And it's right by the water park, so or their version of a water park for kids. So it's a place to cool down and hang out. So great day there. Got through all that. We're going to jump into Proverbs here. Back at it hard at work here on my Brat magazine. I got a deadline coming soon. I've been procrastinating, so the Lord doesn't like that either. We talked about that earlier, but let's get into it here. Chapter number 18, verse 1 says, "An unfriendly man pursues selfish ends. He defies all sound judgment. A fool finds no pleasure in understanding, but delights in airing his own opinions. When wickedness comes, so does contempt, and with shame comes disgrace. The words of a man's mouth are deep waters." I wanted to stop at 3. 1 through 3, that was me. Yeah, it was, man. Before I had Jesus, before I had the knowledge of Proverbs. An unfriendly man pursues selfish ends. Selfish ends. I was talking about this in a group I was at the other night with some young folks. Selfish, man. It was all about Jim Bull. Okay, so an unfriendly man pursues selfish ends. He defines all sound judgment. When you're like that, you're blocked. Your ears are blocked. You're not listening to anybody. And then a fool finds no pleasure in understanding, delights in airing his own opinions. And then when wickedness comes, so does contempt, and with shame comes disgrace. So what that tells me is eventually you will pay for that. It will wreak havoc on your life. So then verses 4 through 8, moving along, go back to talking about what are you saying. The words of a man's mouth are deep waters, but the fountain of wisdom is a bubbling brook. It is not good to be partial to the wicked or deprive the innocent of justice. A fool's lip brings him strife, and his mouth invites a beating. A fool's mouth is his undoing, and his lips are a snare to his soul. The words of gossip are like choice morsels. Okay, check that all out. Think about it. Proverbs has been talking a lot about what are you talking about. Think about it. Yeah. Verse 9: One who is slack in his work is brother to one who destroys. Work hard. God's relating that to being lazy, I guess, or not doing what you should be doing can destroy everything around you. Verse 10 says, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous man runs to it and is safe. The wealth of the rich is their fortified city, rather than the tower of God. They imagine it is an unscalable wall," and I went to my footnotes here. In verse number 11, it says that God can bring it down. You may believe that you've built something up with all your possessions and your selfishness, but God can bring it down, bam, just like that. And here we go, verse 12. "Before his downfall, a man's heart is proud." Boy, you're just riding that freaking wheelie 100 yards, all 5 gears, 6 gears. I don't even know how many gears. I don't ride much anymore. Before his downfall, a man's heart is proud, but humility comes before honor. Isn't it true that sometimes we know we should be doing things differently, but you really got to get to that point where the knife's in your heart and you've almost bled to death before you're willing to take a good look at it. Do it before, man. Do it before. You're going to have to change sometime. You don't have to. I don't know the consequences of that, but sooner better than later. Verse 13, "He who answers before listening, that is his folly and his shame." I was always very guilty of this because, again, I was selfish. When someone was trying to talk or say something or share something, I was always thinking, how can I one-up them, man? I wasn't even listening to what they were saying. All I was thinking about is, oh yeah, me, 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 me. What can I say that's more important than what they say? So, and people, has it ever been done to you? It happens to me all the time. And I just stop and think about how I used to be and how you feel when someone cuts you off. You know what that feels like. The other person feels the same way. Don't do it to them. Listen to them. Show them you care. A man's spirit sustains him in sickness, but a crushed spirit who can bear? The heart of the discerning acquires knowledge. The ears of the wise seek it out. Again, the quiet person is usually the smartest one in the group. He's just taking everything in, or she's just taking everything in, wanting to learn from others' mistakes. So true. 16, I have a double star on here. A gift opens the way for the giver and ushers him into the presence of the great. Made me think of my father-in-law. His name was Charlie Brown. It wasn't Charles, it was Charlie Brown. His parents hit it right on the knob. Charlie grew up in a tent with a dirt floor at the base of the Susquehanna River, went off and fought in World War II, and came home and worked hard all his life for PP&L, Safe Harbor Dam. And we had to go live with Charlie for a while when we were a young family. He took us into his home after his wife passed away and gave us a place to live for a few years till we could really get on our feet. But the dude was always like, whatever I have, take it. Always had a smile on his face. Everybody loved the guy. To this day, people still talk about him. He's been passed for 4 or 5 years now. His daughter, the girl I got lucky enough to marry, same way. And I see it in our grandson. My daughter's son, Aiden, he's going to be 5 here in a week or so. Okay? And the kid is just like, he's always giving. You go to his house and you cannot leave there without one of his trains or his toys or something. Here, Pap, here, Grams, I want you to take this. I want you to have this. But he's always happy. Doesn't it make you feel good when you give somebody something? It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be one of your possessions. It could be a smile. Hey, how are you today? It could be a compliment like we've been talking about here the last couple chapters. Better to give than receive. You have to give to receive. Verse 16. A gift opens the way for the giver and ushers him into the presence of the great. You want to be famous, you want to be great, you want to do something awesome with your life, give to others. Boom, tangent done. That seems like I have one every day, right? Anyhow, and I have to practice it more myself because I'm working on it. Okay, y'all can work on it too. The first to present his case seems right here. 17 is another double star. The first to present his case seems right, so another comes forward and questions him. Isn't it true that we're always quick to accept the first person's side of what happened? There's always 2 sides to every story, sometimes more. There's fabricated sides, there's unfabricated sides, I don't know, I could go on and on with something stupid, but I guess that teaches us to get all the facts. Be smart, be wise, get all the facts before we make a decision about anything in life. Whether it's a quarrel between 2 friends, whether it's borrowing money, whether it's what are you going to do today? What are you going to say? Think and always get the more information, the more wisdom, Proverbs wisdom you can have, the better off you'll be. So anyhow. 18 goes on, casting the lot settles dispute. We talked about casting the lot yesterday, roll of the dice. An offended brother is more unyielded than a fortified city, and disputes are like the barred gates of a citadel. I have another double star here. And to me, an offended brother is more unyielding than a fortified city, and disputes are like the barred gates of a citadel. Reality check again at camp this year. A good friend of mine, I've known him not super long, 5, 6, 7 years now, maybe not even that long. Great guy, great family guy, business owner, getting strong in his faith. And he said to me, we were just sitting there talking, he says, Jim Bull, and I'm not beating my chest here. He says, you don't know how much you've affected my life the last couple of years. And it just made me remember, it makes you stop and think that people are watching. I talked yesterday about being an example. People are watching what you say and what you do. And this talks about an offended brother here. I'm going the other direction with it. People are watching you. You're affecting their life. And that affects your life. So it would be wise, I guess, to remember that your actions are huge. That people are watching you. People want to be good. People want to see good. People want to do good. And remember that someone's always watching. And that if you go the other way with it, if you aren't responsible and wise, you may really offend a brother. And you don't know what the repercussions of that may be. Just talking to you. I'm looking in a mirror. 20, from the fruit of his mouth a man's stomach is filled. The tongue has the power of life and death. More about what are you saying. 22 I have circled here. He who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord. And I went to my footnotes here. Where finding wisdom brought such favor. Remember, Proverbs is written to the perspective of the ideal wife. He who finds a wife finds what is good. Find Proverbs, find wisdom, you find good, and you're going to receive favor from the Lord. A poor man pleads for mercy, but a rich man answers harshly. More reinforcement. Verse 24 ends the chapter. A man of many companions may come to ruin. My son has this tattooed on him. Him and a buddy went and got this tattooed on their arms years ago. A man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Just be careful who you're around, and to me that says that your family isn't always. Family is important, but God wants us to love each other and everybody, and there's brothers, there's friends, there's acquaintances out there who may be closer to you than you believe or know, or that relationship may be closer, I guess, in a relation here than what a real brother may be. Just like yesterday I talked about, the servant can come in. If he's outperforming the brother, the servant may get the riches. He may get the inheritance. So there we have it. We got Proverbs chapter 18 in the books, and a lot of good messages here. Again, reiterating, what are you saying? What are you doing? Touched in the beginning on being selfish. Touched about giving. That was my big thing here today. Give on to others, man. Just give whatever you got. You can't take any of it with you. You know, share what you have. It will come back. Trifecta, baby. That's a horse race thing. We're not supposed to gamble, but anyhow. Y'all have a great day. Love you, and we will see you tomorrow, if not before. Later.